Right now at noon, a woman accused of trying to poison other women in Dane and Rock counties is appearing in court today. What charges she faces. Plus, we're stuffing the bus ahead of the new school year. How you can help kids get the essential school supplies they need. This is News 3 Now at noon. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Josh Breiter. Breaking news at this hour. UW-Madison police are investigating the east side of the Arboretum after a suspicious object was found. News 3 Now's Kyle Pozorski is live near the scene with the very latest for us this afternoon. Kyle, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Josh, police have given the all clear here at the UW Arboretum, but that was not the case about 2 hours ago. It was at 10 o'clock this morning when UW-Madison police put out an alert on the Badger Safe app telling people to avoid the area of the East Arboretum. We got here to the east entrance off of Winger Drive to find a UW-Madison police car, a squad car that blocked off Arboretum Drive. It was then about an hour later or to an hour later when spokesperson Mark Lovicott spoke to us, sharing what they found was a test grenade and that the public is again safe to come here.
We're told by our partners at the bomb squad that they're seeing more and more cases of this because people are finding these old devices, maybe at grandma and grandpa's house, so they don't know what to do with it, so they just leave it somewhere in plain sight with hopes that the right folks will take care of it. That's what happened today, but we hope that it wouldn't happen in a situation like this where they would just reach out to us or the Dane County Sheriff's Office to inquire about proper disposal.
And again, the all clear now being given. Some good news this morning, now afternoon here out at the UW Arboretum. Again, looking around right now, everything is now clear. The barricades are gone, the squad cars are gone, and people have been free to go back inside the Arboretum and do what they please. But again, the message from police is that if you find an object similar to this test grenade that was found here today, to bring it to them, bring it to law enforcement so they can dispose of it properly instead of bringing it to a park or a lake or anywhere else. For now, I'll send it back to you, Josh.
All right, Kyle Pozorski live for us this afternoon. Kyle, thank you. Happening today, the woman accused of poisoning several women in Rock and Dane counties is due in court. Andrea Whitaker has had an initial appearance for 3 counts of attempted first-degree intentional homicide. The charges stem from several hazmat situations in Madison. Investigators discovered she and her co-defendant, Paul Van Dyne, attempted to poison his ex-girlfriends. The pair face charges in both Rock and Dane counties. In Dane County, the couple faces charges of conspiracy to commit first-degree intentional homicide and stalking. Prosecutors say he called Whitaker from jail and asked her to remove belongings from his home. DOJ agents intercepted this outside the home. In Dane County, Whitaker's bond is set at $4 million, while Van Dyne's bond is set at $10 million. Tomorrow, Whitaker will be in court at 1 o'clock, while Van Dyne's hearing is set for 1:15. Whitaker will be in court in Rock County this afternoon at 3. Happening tomorrow, jury selection will begin in the trial of a man charged with murder at the Harmony Apartments in Madison. Devontae Gafford is charged with first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and possession of a firearm as a convicted felon. During his trial in February of last year, a jury found him guilty of possessing a gun as a convicted felon, but a mistrial was declared for the homicide charges. Prosecutors say Gafford shot and killed Devon Grant in 2023 at the apartment complex with a history of violence. Police found more than 60 shell casings. Investigators say 2 groups exchanged gunfire. The jury selection begins tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Well, turning to weather now, air quality warnings continue as the hazy skies linger. First Warn meteorologist Savannah Brito is tracking it all for us. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Josh. Thank you. Yeah, this is new for noon. Our air quality alert for the entire state once again, just like I was talking about earlier this morning, did get extended until noon now tomorrow. That's every single county in the state of Wisconsin. Southern Wisconsin and central Wisconsin, though, currently have some of the worst air quality out there. Moderate, that's all the yellow, and then we even have this stretch from Platteville to Black River Falls that's on the heavier side. So a lot of smoke still present out there at the lunchtime hour, and that's not really going to change as we go forward. We start to see that break up a little bit more tomorrow and then the days to follow. We're at 76 right now here, same with Juneau, 73 in Janesville, 79 in Lone Rock, and then 80 degrees in Wisconsin Dells. Most of us are going to see the 80s. A couple of us might only achieve the upper 70s, but nonetheless, another nice day as far as temperatures temperatures go, and we're still going to have lower dew points, dry weather. It's still hazy out there. That's the big story, though. Probably the only complaint, and that is affecting visibilities. This is a live look outside of Platteville. You can see that if you look towards the horizon in those lower levels, still seeing a lot of that smoke present. We'll see temps climb. Like I said, most of us are looking at the lower 80s. Our forecast high later today, a couple more degrees from where we're sitting right now, 81 in Madison. And then we'll see temperatures get dropped to about 60 degrees. So it's still going to be comfortable tonight, but that all changes because we have a pretty big warm up to detail coming up in a little bit. So not done with summer yet.
Yeah, summer's sticking around.
Yes.
Thanks, Savannah. We'll see you in a few.
Sounds good.
Well, believe it or not, the new school year is almost here, and to help get kids the supplies they need, we're once again partnering with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Dane County for our annual Stuff the Bus Back to School drive. Jalen Banks is live outside the Walgreens on University Ave this afternoon. Hi, Jalen.
You're right, Josh. You hit it right on the head. We're just around the corner from the school year starting up. I mean, it seems as if summer is just absolutely flying by. As you just mentioned, I'm right on the corner of University Ave, across from, several grocery stores in the area, trying to stuff the bus with school supplies this upcoming school year. Joining me right now is Connor Dexter from the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. So you've been out here for a while now trying to get this bus stuffed. Just tell me, what are you seeing so far? There are people coming out, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, so the goal, of course, is to stuff the bus, which for numbers-wise means trying to serve 500 youth. And so if you have extra stuff lying around, if you want to give cash, if you want to come here, buy some stuff at Target and bring it down, we're all about that. There's lots of different places that you can do this. So we're at 3700 here, University Avenue, but you can also go to 104 North Main Street, and that's in Verona. That's another Walgreens location. Any Infinity Martial Arts is another great spot, or our Workforce Center. Our Workforce Center's address is 5215 Verona Road. So another great spot. But if you're just like, I'm confused, I don't know where to go, you can go online at bgcdc.org/back-to-school, and that's the number 2 in the middle there. You can find our Easy Office and Amazon wish lists where you can make direct purchases there. They're shipped to our office, and you can make online donations there. So there's just a lot of different ways that you can support youth this year. So we're just really excited to get the school year up and running and supporting our youth. So yeah.
All right, well, sounds good. Thank you so much, Connor. Yeah. You heard them. There's so many ways that you can give, both in person and online. You can also go to any Boys and Girls Club location in Dane County and drop off school supplies there as well. We'll be out here till 6:30 this evening if you want to come help us stuff the bus. But for now, reporting in Madison, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
Great initiative once again, Jalen. Thank you. Still ahead for us on News 3 Now at noon. If you have a question or concern about your plants or garden, now's the time to send us your questions via email to tips@channel3000.com. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will join us later in the broadcast with the answers. But first, after the break, why Boeing employees are going on strike, plus which movies came out on top of the weekend box office.
The Trump administration says tariffs imposed last week are likely to stick. They're set to take effect Thursday and include 35% on many Canadian goods, 39% on Swiss products, and 50% on Brazilian goods. The trade war has increased the average U.S. tariff from 2.5% at the start of this year to more than 18%, the highest since 1934, according to the Budget Lab at Yale University. Boeing employees who build fighter jets are now on strike. The union that represents the 3,200 workers says they rejected a 4-year deal. Boeing says the agreement would have boosted wages by an average of 40%. Boeing machinists also went on strike last year for 7 weeks before accepting a new contract. And the Fantastic Four: First Steps saw a drop in ticket sales, but still pulled off another #1 finish at the weekend box office. The movie made $40 million in North America, a 66% drop from its debut last weekend. It's the last big blockbuster of the summer. The Bad Guys 2 finished in second with $22 million, and The Naked Gun took the third spot with $17 million. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jesse Mitchell.
Here's the stock report at the noon hour. The Dow is up 551 points, NASDAQ up 372, and the S&P 500 up 83. We'll have the farm numbers straight ahead, and Savannah returns with the first warn forecast. And later on Live at 4, local author Doug Moe on his new book, Forward for the People. Pam is out of the radio barn on her Canadian Rockies farm tour, so here are your farm numbers. Well, the hot and humid conditions returning later this week. Here's meteorologist Savannah Brito with the first warn forecast. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Josh. Thank you. That's exactly right. We're comfortable for now, but that's not how mid to late week is going to be, and the hot weather will extend into our weekends. We're looking at a pretty summer-like weekend ahead. 76, that's our temperature right now. Winds 7 miles per hour, not that big of a deal. I do think they'll rise to about 10, gusting up to 15, so winds as we go for the next 2 hours will begin to pick up, and it'll be kind of breezy. 4 p.m. temperature topping out around 80 degrees. That's where most of us will reach. A few of us this afternoon are already there. Wisconsin Dells at 80, Lone Rock just a degree behind that at 79. 72 though in Mineral Point, 73 in Janesville, and 76 in Monroe. So most of us will reach the 80-degree mark. I think a few of us might hang out only in the upper 70s, but that's still a few degrees below average or seasonable for this time of year into early August. So it's still going to be a nice day with lower dew points too, but we still have got hazy conditions. We're not going to break that pattern yet until the high pressure that's sitting right overhead starts to break down a little bit. That's not going to happen until we get closer to mid and more specifically late week into this upcoming weekend. Some of us right now are up to full visibility at 10 miles, but those that are seeing the more dense of smoke right now, Lone Rock down to 7 miles, Wisconsin Dells is there, and us here in Madison, as well as Waukesha, Janesville. One of the lower visibilities this afternoon, they're down to 5 miles. We got a lot of that thick smoke cover. Areas Platteville stretching all the way up, more widespread near Wisconsin Dells, Camp Douglas, and Black River Falls. We still have that moderate smoke sitting across the Madison area in Dane County. Once the high that I was talking about starts to break up, though, better air quality will move in for southern Wisconsin, but most of us are still dealing with that orange, which is unhealthy for some. Those air quality values could range between 101 to as low as 150 through the rest of the afternoon. Monroe and Janesville are in the yellow, which everyone luckily will see the yellow by Wednesday. So there will continue to be small improvements day to day, not until we get to that Wednesday time frame though. This got extended again, our air quality alert for the entire state of Wisconsin. That includes every county in southern Wisconsin and Dane County as well until tomorrow again at lunchtime. So Tuesday we're still expecting unhealthy for some air quality. Once we get to Wednesday and Thursday, that's when we'll finally see that break up a little bit. We're still going to be dealing with moderate, not necessarily good, but that's still an improvement from the last couple of days. Those moderate values will range as low as about 51 to as low as 100. So we will see good air quality move back in after that, though. The high pressure will break down further, and that's when your next rain chance is going to return. Can't rule out a couple of very spotty showers overnight tonight into early Tuesday morning. It's not going to amount to any measurable rainfall, and these are going to be very brief spells if we do see any of that at all. We're falling to lows near 60, and then we'll see temperatures get into the lower 80s again tomorrow afternoon. So still very comfortable today and tomorrow, but then we've got the heat and humidity that are both going to return Wednesday, and that really increases from there on out Thursday, Friday into this weekend. So hopefully people got out to the state fair this past weekend. It was beautiful. Aside of the hazy conditions and the smoke, Josh, picture perfect weekend almost.
It really was. I think a lot of folks took it all in, but we knew summer would still be here for a little bit.
We got the heat that builds up, so I'm okay with that. I don't want snow or winter.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Well, today Howard has a fresh tasting side dish recipe that he says goes with just about anything.
If your side dish lineup this time of year is baked beans, macaroni salad, and corn on the cob, and you just repeat these over and over, I think you'll love what we're whipping up today. It's a fluffy quinoa salad made with a collection of colorful veggies. And the best part, it goes with just about anything. We start by cooking some quinoa according to the package directions and cooling it. Then we add some cherry tomatoes that we cut in half, diced cucumbers, peeled or unpeeled, and some chopped red onion. Now we add a can of chickpeas that we drained really well. And to give this a fresh summery taste, we mix in a homemade vinaigrette that we made with a few off-the-shelf ingredients. After tossing all this together, we finish it off with some crumbled feta. Then we're good to go. You can serve this at room temperature or chilled if you prefer. Either way, this side dish is so fresh tasting and different, everyone will be asking for more. To get the recipe for our garden quinoa toss, simply check out our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a colorful change of pace way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Ahead at noon, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. Email them now to tips@channel3000.com and we'll get the answers next. Welcome back. Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. Email them now to tips@channel3000.com. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
So I've got a question for you.
Sure.
Does all this smoke and haze impact our plants and garden?
You know, I checked with Gail. I've been saying it's got a minimal effect, but I did check with Gail this morning, and it is minimal. So there's not as much strong sunlight, so things might be a little slower in ripening. But it's not going to have any long-term effect on your garden, like garden crops, like vegetables and things like that. And certainly trees and shrubs are well acclimated, perennials too. We're not getting ash fall or anything like that. That's when you would really see some severe impact on gardens.
All right,
Yeah.
there we go.
So
we
not
got
to worry, everybody.
Yeah, we got lots
Worry
of
about
questions
yourselves.
coming in. That's
Yes.
the biggest thing.
Yes.
We want to start with Kathy. Kathy says she has a rose garden with 8 tea rose bushes. Only half of them actually produce flowers. She gives them rose food, but is thinking about adding fertilizer. The soil is clay-like, but the garden is 20 years old. She's also cut the roses back a few times. What should she do?
So it sounds like that she has some hybrid tea roses that were grafted. And so what has probably happened is at one point in the 20 years, they died back completely to the ground. And grafted roses are on a different rootstock that is there for vigor or for hardiness, but it is not the same rose as the original plant. So it's like a knot. This is the blooming part, this is the rooting part, they're different. So if it dies back past that graft, then what she's getting is just plants from the rootstock, which hardly ever blossoms. It's usually a variety called Dr. Huey.
Oh, that's a name.
I know, exactly. So unfortunately, they're probably done. So she should remove them. Good news is that what you're going to find in the garden centers now are hardy scrub roses. They're on their own roots. So even if they do die back, you still have the original plant.
All right. Question number 2 comes from Connie. Connie asks, when is a good time to trim lilac bushes / trees?
So right after they flower. So this is probably a little too late to do it. If anything that you prune back now, you're going to be cutting back buds for next year's flowers and impacting the flowering. Won't hurt the plants. So if you need to shape, you can go ahead and do it, but just know that you won't get many flowers next year.
All right. Question 3 comes from Lori. Lori asks, when is the best time to transplant roses?
Generally, we like to see them transplanted early in the spring, right when they're starting to bud. Roses, though, are something that can be moved around at any time. Just be aware, though, that they're not very fibrously rooted. And so when you pull them out, instead of having a good root ball of soil, it's probably going to fall away. So you have to plant them like a bare root. Make sure that you cut them back. Don't let them go to flower while they're establishing. And I would definitely use a fertilizer that is for rooting so that they establish before winter.
All right, I think we got about 30 seconds left. Let's get to Florence. Florence says some of her fuchsia are looking bad from how green they were when they were flowering. Should she cut them back? Fertilize with what?
So I would say, Florence, especially if your fuchsias are in containers, you need more fertilizer. So come into the garden center and we'll help you get something for flowering plants that will perk them back up for the rest of the summer.
There we go. Good questions today.
Yeah, they were.
As always, Lisa, thank you. Let's go to Savannah now for a final check of your forecast.
Thanks, Josh. Sunshine, but it will be hazy sunshine that's expected today and tomorrow. Our air quality alert that got extended for it's been several times since that did get extended, and once more for Tuesday. I do think we'll see improvements by Wednesday and Thursday, though, expecting moderate air quality, so still not good, but a big improvement from where we were sitting and have been the last couple of days. Today and tomorrow, still expecting unhealthy for sensitive groups, and then also the heat that returns Thursday, Friday into this upcoming weekend. We're also going to see stormy chances or stormy pattern return by Saturday, Sunday, and that could last into early next week. But then beyond that, looks like we'll see some sunshine and maybe a little bit cooler of temperatures, but nonetheless a stretch where we're above average, Josh.
All right, Savannah, thank you. Thanks for watching News 3 Now Noon. Coming up next is The Bold and the Beautiful. Our next newscast is live at 4. You can always find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.